Hello, I'm Sean McKinley, International Director of Children's Ministries for the Church of God of Prophecy, and I want to thank you for joining us today for this Facebook Live. We have an interesting topic that I think will be helpful to many of you who are trying to serve kids and families in this most unique and extraordinary time that we find ourselves in. As we begin, though, I want to go ahead and let you know, as we typically do, we have a giveaway for today. For those who are watching, you can be entered into a drawing to receive this really cool gift pack of books all about serving families and engaging parents in ministry to kids. So if you want to be entered into this giveaway, we ask you to do three things. Number one, we're going to ask you to like this Facebook Live. We're going to ask you to comment, maybe tell us where you're watching from, and if you have any questions, you can post those there. And then we're going to ask you to share this Facebook Live to your wall, maybe to your church's page, wherever you think it will help people who might find these resources beneficial that we're going to share about today. So again, thank you for joining us, and please do those three things: like, comment, and share this Facebook Live to be entered into this giveaway. We're going to let you do that for the next 24 hours. So you have until 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday to be entered into this giveaway drawing. Well, I want to invite and welcome those who are on our discussion today. They're no strangers to you. This is the children's ministry team here at the international offices. We are all quarantined and isolated from each other right now, working from home. And we miss each other tremendously, and we're counting down the days till the dream team is reunited. So I want to welcome, many of you know, there on the bottom, I believe, left of your screen is Joy Hensley. Hey, Joy.
Hey, everyone.
Joyce has served in children's ministry for many years. She is our training specialist, helping to develop training content. Many of you who have done the Impact certification courses have corresponded with Joy. And opposite of Joy on the screen is no stranger to you. We have Leslie Green. Hello, Leslie.
Hi, guys. So glad to be with you today.
And Leslie serves as our project manager. Now, although we are not working together in the office, we have not taken a break. We are busy in actually using this time to develop some new materials and resources for your local church that we're really excited to be able to share with you very soon. So I want to say a word of thanks to these ladies who are keeping the work going even though they are home. Well, today we've titled this Facebook Live, Kidmin, COVID, and Easter's Coming. This is an important time in the church as we enter Holy Week and look towards Sunday, Easter Sunday, which is usually a really big day for us in children's ministries, as we get to share the gospel with kids and do a lot of fun activities commemorating this time of the year. But it's going to look different for us this year. And so I've been really, I have to tell you, really proud and really impressed with these two ladies and the work that they're doing in their local church children's ministries. They're both children's pastors. They're working really hard to stay connected with families and kids. So I invited them on, not so much today as the International Children's Ministry team, but as local church children's pastors. And I think you'll be inspired and encouraged by what they have to share. So ladies, let's jump in it, okay?
Sounds good.
Let's go.
All right. So Leslie, let's start with you. So what are some of the ways that you're remaining connected to the kids and families in your church during this period of isolation?
Well, each week we are producing videos for nursery, preschool, and elementary. And then we are also sending out mailing packets. I thought I had one right here. But we're sending out a mailing packet with all of the resources that are included. And I do have some of those resources. But everything included in the lesson, we are printing out copies for them to do at home so they don't have to worry about printing or finding materials and that kind of stuff. And then we're sending text messages out with reminders and just prayer points, and then posting on social media.
All right. Yeah, you have stayed busy staying connected with your families, and it's all really been done with excellence and very intentional. So Joy, what about you? What are some of the things that you're doing?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of the same things that Leslie's doing. We have text message reminders. I use Facebook a lot to communicate and just share what exactly is going on, what's happening. We've done mailings every week to our elementary and preschool age, and we've done videos as well each week, one for our elementary and one for our babies in preschool. And recently, just last week, I've been trying to set up either a FaceTime or a video chat time with each of the kids in my ministry. So that's been a fun element to add.
I love that personal touch of those FaceTime calls where they get to see your face. And I know that you were sharing earlier that some of them do want to talk about what they're going through right now and what their day looks like, but others just want to show you a part of their life, maybe what their house looks like or what games they're playing at the moment. So I love that idea. I think it's a great way to stay connected with our kids. So you both are doing a weekly lesson for your kids. So Joy, why don't you tell everybody what a typical Sunday sermon or lesson looks like and maybe some of the elements that you're using in what you're producing?
Yeah. Well, for our babies in preschool, I just try to keep it very, very simple. I try to use objects and activities that parents can grab real quick, things that they can do at home to reinforce the lesson. I teach the lesson, we sing songs, we incorporate the lesson video, and then they have their reinforcement, their activity sheets that I've sent home with them that they can also do at home. For our elementary age, I try to keep the schedule and the order of service very similar to what I would do on a Sunday morning, with times of worship, times of scripture, and then a prayer and response time each week. It's been kind of funny. My pastor actually texted me this past Sunday, and he said, "I really enjoyed your worship set, especially the part where you were playing the air guitar." So I tried to just keep it very similar and let it be very familiar for the kids. I try to teach in the same rooms that they have their class in, because it'll at least bring a little bit of familiarity to them during this stressful time.
All right, great. And Leslie, what do your sermons and lessons look like?
Well, I have two great teachers or coordinators that are helping me. One, I may be a little partial or biased because it is my mother. She does our nursery. She's our nursery coordinator, and she has done a great job and totally out of her comfort zone in recording lessons for the babies. And then one of our preschool lead teachers, Ariana. She has done a great job and grabbed her brother, Abdil. And Abdil does our Sunday morning check-in. So the preschoolers are very familiar with both of them. And they get together and they do the lesson. It's very interactive with each other, and then they engage their audience. And then that's preschool. And Ariana even has taken it a step forward. She plays the ukulele. So she has done a split screen with her editing, and she has two Arianas on the screen, one doing the motions and one playing. And one of our preschool parents commented the other day, they're like, she goes, "My kids are blown away that there are two Arianas on the screen right now. This is hilarious." And so they have been so great to record. And then, as Joy said, with the elementary, I'm trying to keep it as consistent with what they see on a Sunday morning. The difference is I'm doing most of my recording from my house, from my living room, or from a location that is isolated as well. We've even pulled in, our kids' church has a worship team, and he has graciously agreed to record videos of him as well, singing and leading, and we've just pieced them together and just try to keep it as consistent as possible.
I love that. My daughter, this past week, she got her preschool lesson from her teacher through Facebook. And she was doing all the hand motions and everything that they do with their songs and activities. And it was so fun to watch my daughter. She was just so engaged. And I think the key is to know that it doesn't have to be complicated and it doesn't have to be perfect. But I think your effort will speak volumes to the kids and to their parents. And so I really just applaud everything that you guys and so many others are doing. Now, last night I was with several children's ministers from across the United States on a call, and they were sharing some of the things that they're doing. And again, it runs a gamut from very simple to more complex. But I know Leslie, your mother, is your preschool leader, and several others that I know, simply getting on and reading a book to the kids means so much. That contact with a familiar face. And as I said, it speaks volumes to their parents. So I encourage everybody, have courage and to embrace some of this technology that's available to you. So this is, for many of us, a little outside of our comfort zone, using this technology in new ways. And so I wanted to hear from you, you two. Are there any maybe pitfalls or issues that you've run into in embracing this sort of digital discipleship model? Anything that you've encountered that you can go ahead and warn people who maybe after they watch this video, they're going to try to embrace some of this technology? Leslie, any issues that you've had?
Technical issues always happen, so make sure that you are taking the time to do them. At the office, we get so spoiled. I was so spoiled because when we do a production at the office, we have our IT crew, our media crew in the background, making sure everything goes smoothly. When I'm sitting in my living room, nobody is going to see those outtakes because there's so many of them trying just to get through the lesson. And then after all of the outtakes, you have the video editing portion that we've added elements into. It just takes time, and so allot yourself the time and just be patient with yourself, and give yourself grace. That's a huge thing. Give yourself grace in this because, like you said, we're not perfect. We're not professionals in this. We are children's ministers that are used to standing in front of kids, and now we know everything we do is going to be seen, and that causes some hesitation. But give yourself grace, and it's like you said, Sean, just the goal is to connect with the parents, or the kids especially, and the parents are seeing it, and if they see that, that is going to speak volumes to them, especially during this time.
Absolutely. And how about you, Joy? Anything that you've encountered along the way?
Yeah, well, just to be very raw, the first week was really exhausting. Just lots of recording and editing, and I think I was sharing earlier, I probably spent over 20 hours that week just trying to produce 3 short videos for our children's ministry, and it was a lot. But I made countless errors and bloopers. At one point, I found myself in my preschool room trying to do a demonstration about Elijah hitting the water with his cloak, and I spill a whole bucket of water on myself in the preschool room, and I just had to laugh because, it's just where we are right now. But also, you mentioned copyright, and a lot of the curriculum companies have been very gracious. I use High Voltage Curriculum, and I also use the Gospel Project. And they've been very gracious to allow churches to stream and share their content online. And a lot of the music producers, such as BNC and Jumpstart 3, have also given permission for that. So I've been very thankful for that, and it's made this process a little bit easier.
Sure, absolutely. Now, I am hoping that I get to see those outtakes from both of you at some point. Okay. But I think the key to remember is it doesn't have to be perfect. I want everything that I do to be as excellent and as perfect as it can be. But when I look at the videos my kids are watching on YouTube and TikTok and some of these other platforms, they are such low production quality. And so this is what they're kind of accustomed to. So don't, as Leslie said, give yourself a little grace and don't push yourself to try to be studio quality work here. Now, the question that I've been getting the most over the last couple of weeks is about copyright issues. And, those vary with publishers and different companies. And as Joy mentioned, some are giving us permission and grace during this time to use their materials. I want to tell you on the Children's Ministry website, which is cogop.org/children, there's a brand new blog there with a ton of resources available to you. And in there, you'll find some information about copyright. You'll find some of the publishing companies that are giving you permission to and how exactly to use their materials. Like Joy mentioned in particular, Yancey, we love her music. and she's giving you
Yeah.
some details there how you can use her resources at this time. But I also want to encourage you to check out, hopefully your church has a CCLI license, and CCLI offers you what's called an add-on license for streaming. And there's information there that you can access to make sure that what you're doing is not just from a good heart, but it is done ethically and legally, okay? Also want to mention to you that our own One Accord resources have given privileges for people to use to replicate their teacher guides. So if that's something that you're interested in, there's information there as well. And then I also want to just say our IT people suggested I do this for you as well, that you have permission and privilege to share this video and the resources that we have listed to your sites as well. So feel free to do so if this will help you, maybe your state or regional or national office. Feel free to share this information with the churches in your area. All right, so Leslie, I wanted to know if you have any very specific resources or tools that you're using to keep keeping kids connected spiritually through this time. Do you have anything that you can recommend to people?
Well, what we're doing is, like I mentioned earlier, we're sending out a weekly packet with all of the resources that from the curriculum and then some additional stuff. One of those things that we have, the curriculum I'm using right now is Go Curriculum. And I love that they have an application page where it gives them time to journal it. And all of our kids have different ways of expressing themselves. I have some kids that love to draw. Don't ask them to write anything. Don't ask them to fill out a puzzle. But if they can draw it, they can do it. And the Go Curriculum, it has an area for drawing, for journaling. It has an area for reading it and then praying about it, thinking about what you've learned. So that's one of the activities that they have. There are also in their stuff are some family activities. And it gives one for the younger kids and for the older kids. So it has both elements that the family can have a family time and just kind of drive home what they have learned that Sunday. So I'm doing that, and that's just kind of pushing those resources. And then, the scripture memorization is so important. And so during the week, we have different challenges that go on. And one of our challenges that there's a contest, because, the kids love contests with this. And so if they send me a video of them memorizing that scripture so that they're hiding the word in their heart, and they get some extra points for the video, but just instilling the same things that we teach on Sunday morning or on Wednesday night in the classroom, just reinforcing those things are important even when we're not together.
All right, great. And the Go Curriculum is linked on the blog that I mentioned earlier if you'd like to know more about it. Joy, how about you? Any tools or resources you want to quickly mention?
Yeah, well, we've sent home activity sheets that go along with our curriculum. For our older kids, we have our sermon notes page that they use every fifth Sunday with us that they can fill out when they're following along, keep them engaged. And then I also just have a simple prayer journal sheet that I printed off. We have prayer journals at the church, and we don't use them every week, but I figured it would be a great way for the kids just to have quiet time, maybe after they watch the sermon online, or even just throughout the week at their house. They can just take time to plug away and be alone with God, and they can ask questions, they can write prayers, they can write songs to Him, and just letting them connect one-on-one with God is really just my goal and objective there.
Sure, I love that. And can you maybe tell us, Joy, a little bit about the scavenger hunts that you're doing with the kids? Yeah,
so each week I've been sharing some random activities that the kids can do. It's anything from finding a rock or a prickly item outside to doing 10 push-ups or 10 burpees or finding a certain passage in their Bible. And then one of the items I try to always include is, show me your completed sermon notes page, or, an activity sheet from the week. And then they'll earn points, and each week we just have a drawing, and one child wins, and then it starts over again for the next week. So they can jump in at any point, and they don't ever feel like they need to play catch up. Or if they miss a week, it's okay. Just join us next week.
Sure. And Leslie, you're doing something similar, correct?
Yes, we are. Every day they have a challenge, and our points though are going to go through the end of April, and so it gives them time to because we know schedules are busy. And I love how Joy is starting over every week, and that's probably it's a great idea, and it's probably better than holding them because then it's less work for me too. But the whole thing is we don't want to. I don't want to. Add any more to the parents and the kids saying, I need to get this done. So I get my points. So they have plenty of time to complete it. So we're doing this through the end of April. And so I'm excited about it. And I love seeing their videos too. This last week we had a praise party and one of the parents sent the video of their kids praising and like in the middle of the living room, just breaking it down. And it was it was encouraging for the parent, but it was also encouraging for me to see them
Sure.
interacting.
Well, I know last night several of the folks that I was talking with were talking about the challenge of sending things out, but never knowing if the families and the children are doing them. And so that's why I love the idea of the scavenger hunt or the daily challenge, because what you guys do is you put it out there, and if they want to participate, they have to send back a picture or video proof of what they've done. So it's a great idea that some of you who are watching might want to utilize to bring a little bit of fun to this time, but also a great way of keeping regular connection with your kids. So really one of the big reasons I think most people are watching is it's Easter week. And as I said earlier, it's a big week for us in kids ministry, but we're in a new situation right now, and many of us want to find a way to help our families connect with the Easter message and celebrate what God has done through the resurrection of Christ. So, Joy, why don't you tell us some things that you're planning for your kids' ministry for Easter or this week?
Yeah, typically every year in the past that I've been children's pastor, we have had a community egg hunt at our church. And just a few months ago, our team met and we just discussed that we wanted to do something for families, something smaller. So we had been working towards that, but then this happened and we're no longer able to do that. So I knew it was very important to a lot of our families because they always participate. It's something that they do together. And so I was very intentional. When I knew that we wouldn't be having Easter, I went to the store, I bought eggs, I bought candy, and I started stuffing them and making family Easter packets so our families can still have their traditional egg hunt. They can still create those memories together. And another thing that we're doing that I included in the packet was I just included some grape juice and some crackers and several cups for each family. That way, this Sunday after our message, that they can participate in communion together as a family. And Pastor Wade and he's going to collaborating with me, and he's going to be part of our kids video, and he's going to specifically address the parents and talk about the role of the parents as priests of their house and just encouraging them to have this sacred and special time together, even though they won't be with us at church worshiping.
Awesome. So you're really creating packets that you'll drop at their homes. They kind of have an Easter service right there delivered to their doorstep. So that's great. And Leslie, what are you doing?
Well, this last week, because of Holy Week, we included in their packets things that they could do up till Friday. And then Friday, we're going to be doing something different. But one of those things that we have, it was an activity. It's actually from Focus on the Family. It's a scripture cross. I don't know if I can get close enough, but each day has a scripture on it. And so as they read that passage with their family, they'll take the scripture, other side. They'll take it and they'll glue it onto the cross. So when they finish the whole week, the cross will be full of the scriptures leading through Holy Week. We've also included, thanks for Oriental Trading getting my order to me. We included a Holy Week wheel for them to color through. And then on Thursday, we had a Seder meal. And our church usually has a Maundy, Thursday meal at the church with the families. We bring stuff in. It's not your traditional Seder meal. It's just a potluck. But this time, we're not going to have that, obviously. But I wanted to give the kids an opportunity for this. But Melissa Minter actually posted something on Facebook the other day, and I started looking at it, and it's a non-traditional, probably as far away from tradition as you can get. It is an ice cream Seder meal. And so I printed this out for the parents these are things that they'll possibly have in their home to have anyway. And so they have the Seder meal and then some other daily challenges and an Easter scavenger hunt. And then on Friday or Saturday, we will get together and I say we, that's, I guess, me and the mouse in my pocket are going to be delivering packets for Easter Sunday for the kids and the families.
All right, great. Well, those are all wonderful ideas. And I want to tell everyone on the Children's Ministry website on today's blog, we have a ton of resources. And the very first category are Easter resources that you can, things that you can provide for families that you can send home or direct them to help them celebrate Easter. You can pick one that you think would work best for your ministry. It's all completely free and accessible to you digitally. There's one that I will mention that I just personally, because I'm familiar with the publisher and intend on doing with my own family, is from Orange, and it's called the Easter Jam. It's a complete packet that you can download. It's got a video lesson, activities, and games that families can do together. But there are many of those. So please visit our website after you watch this video and go through all of those and see, hey, here's something that I can recommend my families in my church use and begin to share it with them. So as we conclude, quickly, just a few final thoughts. But I do want to hear from you ladies how you think, maybe we'll start with you, Leslie. How do you think that your ministry will be impacted by this time period after life returns to normal, whatever that will look like?
Whatever normal looks like, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to focus on this year was connecting with our families. And this has just catapulted me into it. I wanted to increase my social media connection. I wanted to increase what we are producing and putting online for our parents to continue what we teach on Sunday morning, for them to continue it through the week. And like I said, it just catapulted us into it. And I think that that has been a blessing to me specifically, because it made me take the initiative where I may have sat on my hands a little bit longer. And not that I didn't want to do it, just it's an overwhelming thought to do all of this. And so that's been beneficial.
Excellent. And how about you, Joy? How do you think your ministry will change or be impacted?
Yeah, well, I definitely think that this at-home discipleship impact has been greatly touched on through this process, and I'm very thankful for that. I was just thinking the other day, it's been really hard not seeing the kids, and a lot of times in ministry we can just get very overwhelmed and we can get very tired, and sometimes it feels like what we're doing, no matter how small, it's just very difficult. But it's times like this that make you really grateful, and so I've just been very appreciative of that, and it makes me love and appreciate what I do even more so, just by not being able to do it the way I would desire to do it. So I'm thankful for that as well.
I'll be interested to see how our kids respond to their technology and screens when this time is over. I'm kind of hoping that my own children, this will be such an overload of screen time that they're not going to want it for a while, And I think that may be an outcome of this time where they're having to focus so much time on homeschooling and other things with their screens. I can tell you my own kids, just getting outside, they're doing that a lot more because that's the only other option right now. And also I know we're having better conversations as a family about the things of God. And someone asked me, how were we going to help during this time? And certainly we've been trying to make resources available to our children's leaders and to give them tools and encourage them. But I have, when the coronavirus began just a few months ago, really, here in the United States, when we became really aware of it, and Joy and Leslie know, we had conversations about this. For a year, we've been talking about the importance of helping parents become the God-ordained leaders of the spiritual formation of their children, helping them embrace that and to walk in that. And so I think this is a great opportunity for us to get our parents reconnected in the discipleship of their children. Ephesians 4:12 is a big part of what we want to do, and that's equipping the saints to do the work of ministry, and that includes parents, equipping them to be those, as Joy said, the priests of their home. And so we want to come alongside parents. I think that's a great opportunity in this hour that we can help them to be what God called them to be, come alongside of them and support them. Because, I really want the kids that I serve, when they grow up, I want them to not say I was the greatest spiritual influence in their life. I would love for them to say their mom and dad was the greatest spiritual influence in their life. So I believe it's a challenge for us, but God is giving us in this time an opportunity to embrace that and to walk in that. I want to mention that in that same vein, we're on tomorrow will be week 4 of 8. We're making available an at-home discipleship lesson. So we hope that you pastors and children's ministers are letting your families know it's all online. It's very simple lessons. They're not complex or complicated. They can do with their families. So those are available every Wednesday. So tomorrow, week 4, will be made available. So please check that out again at the website, kogop.org/children. We have other blogs there. We have a great blog and a video blog that we did with Dr. Michael Hernandez about how to talk to your kids about coronavirus. If they have fears or anxiety, that's available on the website. Again, we have the blog of resources there that you can access, not just about Easter, but there are tools there for your entire church, tools for how to talk to kids about coronavirus, and some lessons that you can do with kids, perhaps on Facebook, if you want to find something fun to do with them. So go check it out. Again, the website is kogop.org/children. And so I want to thank Leslie and Joy for being with me today and sharing their insights and experiences. They are a blessing to this ministry and this office and keep us going. And so thank you, Joy.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much, Leslie, for being here as well.
Thank you, Sean.
And I want to say a word of thanks to the International Office Information Technology Services for making this possible, connecting us today. And so we look forward to hearing from you. Know that we are praying for you. And I'm so proud of so many of you who are stepping outside of your comfort zones and finding creative ways to minister and serve your kids and families. I believe you'll be glad you did. And I believe that there's a lot of things happening that we don't see right now. But that at the end of this time, we're going to see that we have helped our kids become stronger in their faith and helped families to come together in this journey that they're walking together. So God bless you today. And please let us know if there are ways that we can serve you or assist you. May God richly bless you. And we'll see you next time.